The Crimson Nile. For 400 years, the sky over Egypt was a merciless, brassy dome. The children of Israel, once guests, were now slaves, their bodies bent under the weight of a Pharaoh's ambition. Their groans mingled with the dust of the bricks they were forced to make, their tears swallowed by the unforgiving sand. They cried out to a God who had long been silent, their pleas rising like smoke from a dying fire, hoping to reach a heaven that seemed deaf to their pain. But the cries did not go unheard. On the edge of the desert, a shepherd named Moses, a man who carried the blood of both the oppressed and the oppressor, saw a sight that defied reason. A bush burned with a fire that did not consume, and from its heart a voice spoke, not with fire, but with the weight of silent centuries. I have seen the misery of my people. I have heard their cry. Go to Pharaoh. Tell him, let my people go. Moses stood before Pharaoh, a simple shepherd in a court of gold and lapis lazuli. The air was thick with incense and arrogance. Pharaoh, a man who believed himself a god, sat upon a throne of carved obsidian, his eyes cold and dismissive. "Who is this, Lord?" Pharaoh sneered, his voice a silken lash. "That I should obey him and let Israel go. I do not know this Lord, and I will not let Israel go." The judgment began with the water. Moses lifted his staff, and the Nile, the very lifeblood of Egypt, turned to a thick crimson tide. The river that gave life now stank of death. The fish choked in the foul water, their silver bodies floating on the surface like a grim prophecy. The Egyptians dug for water in the sand, their throats parched, but found only more blood. Pharaoh's heart, however, remained as hard as the granite of his statues. Then came the swarms. Frogs surged from the bloody river, covering every surface, their croaking a maddening chorus. Then gnats, a biting, inescapable cloud, and then flies, thick and buzzing, filling the air and corrupting the land. The Pharaoh's sorcerers, with their parlor tricks and incantations, tried to replicate the horrors but failed, their magic revealed as a hollow echo of true power. Still, Pharaoh would not yield. Then came a darkness that was more than an absence of light. It was a physical presence, a thick, suffocating blanket that could be felt. For 3 days, Egypt was plunged into a terrifying, silent void. No one could move, no one could see their neighbor. It was a darkness that ate sound and hope. Fear, cold and sharp, gnawed at every Egyptian soul. But Pharaoh's pride was a fortress that even this living darkness could not penetrate. The final warning was delivered, each word a hammer blow against Pharaoh's pride. "Thus says the Lord," Moses declared, his voice resonating with divine power. "About midnight I will go out into the midst of Egypt, and every firstborn in the land shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the slave girl behind the millstones." A different command was given to the Israelites. A lamb for each house, its blood a sacred ink. "Mark the 2 doorposts and the lintel of the houses," Moses instructed. "For the Lord will pass through to strike the Egyptians, and when he sees the blood, he will pass over you." That night, behind sealed doors, families ate in silence, their bags packed, their hearts a frantic drumbeat of terror and hope. Midnight. A hush fell over the land, a silence deeper than the darkness. A form, woven from shadow and cold starlight, drifted through the streets of Egypt. It was Azrael, the silent messenger of God's wrath. It had no face, no weapon. Its presence alone was the sentence. It passed over the doors marked with blood, but slipped like smoke through the thresholds of the Egyptians, a chilling, unstoppable tide of judgment. A cry tore through the night, a sound of a nation's soul being ripped apart. In every Egyptian house, from the palace to the hovel, a life had been extinguished. Pharaoh, the god-king, knelt on the cold floor, his own firstborn son lying lifeless in his arms. His pride shattered into a million pieces. He summoned Moses, his voice a broken rasp. "Go," he choked out, "leave my people, and bless me also." The long night was over. The exodus had begun.